while everyone was trying to outdo the last man. I was just a ghost trying to catch some Miss Pac-Man.
What's up, guys? This is XGeN CaspeR, and here I got commentary number 5 for you. Now, this game was actually taken from a scrim. As you can see, it's just mainly me playing with my friends, but I like to keep the videos fresh, and so this one's on like a new map that I haven't really done a commentary on. I basically covered all my bases as far as the other usual maps that everybody snipes on, like Favela, Terminal, Scrapyard, and High Rise. So I figured I'd do one on Skid Row, just because it's a little less common, but people still play it, so I figured that there are some unique tips that I could give you guys. Now, probably the most important thing that I wanted to mention last video, but I didn't get a chance to do, is that when you're like trying to defend any type of an objective, whether it's at headquarters or your flag base, it's usually never a good idea to have your whole team inside of it, and because it really disables your ability to look outside of your objective and see where your enemies are coming from. So while it's nice to have a 4-person team cap, you want to at least do it in a manner that allows you to have a couple of people to look outside the HQ and scout for enemies, and maybe even shoot them before they... Oh, excuse me, I got like a frog in my throat. And maybe like shoot them before they get to the HQ. And even if they don't shoot them and they don't kill them, they'll still be able to give the rest of your team important tips as to where everybody's coming from and where to defend, like what spots to move to. So that, in combination with looking at your radar frequently, should really increase the lifetime of your HQ as a whole for each cap. Now, if you'll notice something that I do up here in a second is, as me and a couple teammates are trying to capture this HQ on the far right side of the screen over here by this corner, you'll notice that I actually lie down and I press start to view the full map of Skid Row. Just something that you can do by pressing start, just in case you didn't know. That's a little helpful tip. So right about here, I get a kill, and then I've got the HQ cap, so I get out, find some solid cover, get this kill on Enrose Metroid, and I'm gonna press start in a second, any second. There we go. So see, I'm pressing start so I can look at my entire map, and in case you didn't see, I saw the location of both my teammates and able to see which places they're covering, and so I saw that Kixo died up here, so I immediately ran towards him to get a couple of kills and defend the HQ. Now, another thing that you should be aware of is it's never really a good idea to have all 4 of your players outside of the HQ at one point either, unless it's really exposed and open HQ, like the HQ that's closest to the fire truck and scrapyard. It's basically entirely open on all sides. You can get killed from just about any direction except for the back, obviously, because there's a wall there that marks the outside of the map. So you can't really get killed from that direction, but basically any other angle you can get shot from. So with that HQ, my idea is it's just a stupid idea to stay on it after it's been captured, because there's literally no cover that you can stand behind and be defending the HQ consistently. So if you're in an HQ like that, maps like Scrapyard that have a lot of exposed HQs, it's a good idea to maybe have your entire team get out. But other than that, when you're playing on a map like this one, Skid Row, you should usually try to stick with the 2 in, 2 out method. And this is also a good tip for Terminal. You want to have 2 guys inside the HQ, 2 guys outside watching from a distance, or covering the obvious routes in from different spots further out on the map. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, on a big map like Skid Row, obviously, as you guys know, this is one of the bigger maps that competitive sniping matches, in particular 4v4s, which are really the only kind of formal match, except for a 3v3. Skid Row is like the biggest map that you can possibly play on, besides maybe Favela or High Rise. But if you think about it, the shapes are different, so and the dimensions are different. Like, basically all good CTF games, all good CTF maps are rectangular, okay? But Skid Row is just like a giant square. So while it might be the same size, its shape allows for some pretty opportunistic routes when it comes to flanking and things like that. There's always two good ways into an HQ, and usually they're at least at a 90-degree angle from that. So what's really important is you're going to want to try to get your whole team to rush the HQ simultaneously. Because anybody can sit there and head glitch behind a piece of cover and take out 4 people as they come in one by one. Like, it's not hard, but if you get 2, 3, or 4 of your teammates to all attack an HQ at once, they have the advantage. There's no way that one person can take out 4 people that all rush in at once unless they get extremely lucky. And that's not because I'm not trying to say that there isn't anybody that's good enough to do that. Even the best sniper simply couldn't do it unless he got lucky, simply because he doesn't have the rate of fire to do it. You know, like, you can only fire 4 bullets from an intervention so fast. And the other team is going to catch up to you whether you like it or not. There's no way you're going to be able to do that. So, good tip, if you want to maximize HQ clearing potential, total bullshit terms that I just made up, always have more than one of your teammates run into the HQ at all times. And another good tip that might be good is don't have all 4 people run in from the same spot. Don't have all 4 people run from the same entrance. Because even then, the head glitcher still might have a slight advantage. Especially if it's only 2 or 3 people going as opposed to 4. So always try to have more than one entering an HQ, and if you're going to have a lot, make sure that they come in from different entrances. Another important tactic, simply put, would be just plain callouts. I noticed that a lot of teams that I've been on in the past don't really focus on callouts as much, and it really is important, because just because a team has a lot of good individual players doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to have success as a team. I really don't think that individual skill holds as much bearing on whether a team succeeds as much as whether the 4 individuals playing in a game at a certain time have the ability to communicate with one another and play with one another in a fluent manner so that they can win. Because if you take like 4 all-stars, 4 really good snipers, and put them on a team and they don't communicate, the team's going to lose every single time. It doesn't matter. There's no way that you can possibly win unless you have communication. It's a really important concept. A team that communicates has the advantage merely because they will probably know the position of your players every single time one of their players has an encounter. So let's say you're running around, somebody on your team either it doesn't matter whether or not they get killed by somebody or they see someone get the kill. They might see more than one person and only kill one. The second that they relay that information to the rest of their team, you guys are basically fucked unless they're like moving. But as long as they're camping in a certain position, they're fucked, because they're going to have a flow of enemy teammates running towards them, and they will die eventually. So yeah. So another topic that I was talking about earlier that I didn't really get a chance to finish on because I'm fucking retarded and I have ADD, is the flank routes on this map. You can just about always run around the perimeter of the map and get a good flank route going on any of the HQs in this game, which is something that if you notice, and you're actually sincerely watching my gameplay, which I know that most of you probably aren't, I do that several times during this video. I run around the perimeter of the map and get basically an easy way into the HQ. And once you have that element of surprise on 2 people that are just caught with their backs to you, it's pretty easy to kill both of them. Okay? So yeah, definitely an important concept of sniping. Always try to go for the flank route. Because, like I said in my last video, it really doesn't matter what you do if you're taking a direct path and you die. It doesn't matter if you save yourself the time, because you're going to be dead for 5 seconds and you're going to be of no use to your team. So yeah. I kind of wanted to touch on general quick scoping tips in this video, but unfortunately guys, time is running short, so I'm going to have to cut this session off. However, I do look forward to doing another commentary, and it should be out in the future soon. So, peace.